Hello, and welcome to the Talking Apron podcast. This is your no nonsense, friendly resource for healthier eating and confident home cooking, especially if you're managing or aiming to prevent diabetes. Each episode is going to bring you some practical tips, nutritional insights, and some real life strategies so you can take charge of your health right from your kitchen. And who am I? I'm your host, Ann Bernardin. I'm a diabetes prevention coach, a nutrition educator and speaker, and I'm a home cook who lives with type 1 diabetes. Now, first, before we get started, let's help our bodies out and go ahead and go grab your cuppa of water. Now, hydration is one of the simplest, most overlooked habits for steady blood sugar and overall health. So let's go ahead and take a few sips and dive in. All righty. In today's episode, which is called Ginger Zing, Flavor and Blood Sugar Balance, well, of course, we're exploring ginger. Now, have you ever eaten a meal and had that bloated, I'm stuffed feeling? I have. It is so uncomfortable. And what I usually do is I have a cup of lemon ginger tea after. Now, ginger's century-old reputation as a digestive soother is now backed by science. Its bioactive compounds, gingerols and shogols, they actually relax our gastrointestinal muscles and they speed gastric emptying. That means you're not constipated, and it can blunt or stop those after meal blood sugar rises. Here are a few quick how to use ginger as a digestive aid. First up is that after meal tea. You're going to slice 3 or 4 thin slices of raw ginger. You're going to put it in hot water and let it steep. The second is to add a half a teaspoon of freshly grated ginger into smoothies for that flavor zing and an extra boost so you don't have to add or have all those added sugars. Now, here's a little bit of a history information for today's podcast. Do you know that ginger was traded on the spice route as early as the 1st century CE? It's also prized in India and China for calming the wind in the belly, and that medieval Europeans even taxed it like gold. Now, before we continue on and speak about the inflammation fighting and nutritional benefits of ginger, I want to pause for a moment and speak directly to you. If you are someone who's newly diagnosed as diabetic or pre-diabetic, or perhaps you're looking for a reset, had diabetes for a while, and you're feeling overwhelmed or perhaps a little fearful of what this disease is and what can happen if you don't take charge, here's a little help. Download my free guide. It's called What Now? 10 Questions Pre-Diabetic Women Ask, and get some straight up answers. It's a start. I've had my own journey when I was first diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and that fear and overwhelm can stop you. So just know you're not alone, and there's a little bit of help out there. The link's in the show description. Grab it and have more clarity and ditch some of that stress-inducing confusion. Take your next confident step today. All righty. Now, science knows that chronic inflammation drives insulin resistance, making our blood sugar numbers creep up even when you're eating right. The gingerols in ginger act as antioxidants, and the Kappa B inhibitors dial down the inflammatory pathways linked to insulin resistance. In clinical trials, daily ginger powder, 1 to 3 grams, trimmed fasting glucose and A1C levels. Now, let's go back there. Let's unpack what the heck is the NF-κB. It's actually NF-kappa B, and it's a master switch inside almost every cell. The moment the body senses stress, bad day, bills, think high blood sugar, an infection, even lack of sleep, NF-kappa B lips on, marches into the cell's nucleus, and turns up the gene that makes inflammatory chemicals. Well, why does that matter for us or for diabetics? Persistent low-grade inflammation keeps insulin from working well. So when NF-kappa B stays turned on, blood sugar control gets harder and those complications creep in. Again, when we say ginger acts as an NF-kappa B inhibitor, we're talking about its ability to calm that master inflammatory switch, which may help ease insulin resistance and stabilize blood sugar over time. That's a win right there. So let's talk about some more of those nutritional benefits. Well, in 80 grams of raw ginger, it only has 80 calories. It has 17, almost 18 carbs with 2 grams of fiber. It has 2 grams of protein, 415 milligrams of potassium, and 43 milligrams of magnesium. Plus, it gives us a little bit of a B6 and a hint of immune-friendly manganese. So here are some practical ginger tips. First, you're going to swap out sugary marinades and you're going to make it yourself. You're going to blend some grated ginger, a little bit of garlic, and some tamari. That's it. It's flavor without the additives and high glucose spike. The second one is let's end those bland meals and food fatigue that leads to sometimes our mindless snacking and some hidden sugars. Let's take some fresh or powdered ginger and transform some of your ordinary dishes by experimenting, putting a little ginger, put a little butter on your broccoli, and then put a little powdered ginger. Why not? Have a taste. Now, you don't need a lot. It's not like cinnamon. Put a little bit on, taste it, and go, oh, that tastes good. I want to try a little bit more. Now, we're experimenting because we want to help ourselves choose well so we can eat well. Now, when we shop for ginger, we're going to be choosing firm, smooth skin, and it's going to have this spicy aroma. When we bring it home, we're going to store it by putting the unpeeled knobs in a breathable bag in the crisper, and that'll be good for about 3 to 4 weeks. You can freeze whole pieces of ginger for up to 6 months. Then you just pick them out and you grate them straight from the frozen piece. Now, to prep them, really easy to peel with an edge of a spoon, and it's minimal waste. So put that peeler, the vegetable peeler, away and just use the back of a spoon. So here are some additional everyday uses. You're going to pair ginger with some non-starchy veggies, fast, fragrant side dish, just like the broccoli I spoke about. Put a pinch of ground ginger, a little bit of cinnamon in your oatmeal. That's going to give it a flavor boost and add more anti-inflammatory benefits. Then we're going to have our do-it-ourself sushi-style pickled ginger. Thin slice your ginger, do a quick pickle by just putting it in rice vinegar and keep it in the fridge. Here you have your instant Zing. Me right now, what I'm thinking about is, oh, that would go really well if I didn't have pickles. I'll put that in my tuna fish. Now, to finish up, I just want to say thank you for spending a little time with me today listening to the Talking Apron podcast. My wish is that you leave this episode feeling a little bit more confident, a bit more cared for, and a whole lot less alone in this journey. Every small step that you take in your kitchen adds up to something powerful in your life. So keep showing up, keep stirring the pot. Now remember, find that free guide in the show notes or on the Talking Apron website. Your health is worth the effort, and you are absolutely capable of making changes that matter. If this episode gave you something to think about, hit subscribe, share, email it to someone so we can keep the conversation going every single week. I'll be right here, apron on, cheering for you.